Hello everyone, this here is Miserluke, and welcome to the 38th Battle of the Promethean Directive. Today we've got 1st Company C and B platoons coming from the Coalition of Independent Nations, fighting up against Iter Perlutum 1 and Vidite Abyssi. This city was recently relocated inland by the Divini Arcana Ordinem, using these two walkers that you'll see over in the distance. Which is a legal move, by the way. You can move cities. You take a tax for it, which may be about half the city's health, but you can do it. I realize I'm not streaming. That will be done momentarily. I don't have an issue with this. Trust me, guys. Thank you for all the pings to remind me, though. And then to go ahead and read out what those forces look like on the spreadsheets, the Coalition B Company is led by First Lieutenant Jens Winter, and the C Company led by First Lieutenant Svatoslav Novikov. The former consisting of 13 IM-175 Johnson tanks imported from, or the blueprint contracted in from the Iranian Federation, and the latter, which is in the foreground here, consisting of 3 IM-1C cases and 10 041 Groza IFVs. Over on the Vidite side is Iter Perlutum 1, which is these two fellows over here, and the city, whose defenses will drop into play shortly. With that said, unpausing and starting the battle. I don't know which way this battle will go. We'll see. The attackers do have frag poles, which are probably optimized pretty well for dealing with stone. But the defenders have these packs that can probably one-tap the attacking tanks, so it'll kind of be up in the air regarding which side has the advantage. Not AI dead yet for the tanks that have been hit, so that's a good sign. Are some collisions, but not too bad. As long as no one flips, they'll be alright. Oof. Bad luck for, I think, the K's is here. I don't know to what extent I can disable the AI of one of these cases. So we'll stop doing that. Close one off. Uh-oh, that may have been too late. Yikes. FTD being FTD. I could have spawned them wider, but this already was a front that's like 2 kilometers wide, and I prefer to avoid that when I can. Oh well, I'll put him back to point at maintain distance. Let's see how this salvo of missiles is going to do. I know some of the tanks fire some pretty beefy frag poles, the rest are kind of just more standard frag shots. Packs poking their heads up to fire. There's already some decent damage to the engine building here, including reaching one of the engines, so the packs may get disabled fairly quickly. Going for AI and HP check. Couple vehicles fairly damaged, mostly from the collisions. 2 packs have already been quite badly damaged. We can go ahead and check out, see what that damage was exactly. I'm gonna guess it's this guy here. Still has its cannon, the most important part, but the armor has definitely been stripped away quite a bit. And while the defenses do have some repairs, for the record, I will scrap them if they get down to 55%. One attacking tank has just been AI dead. These guys seem to fire EMP, or at least they do against these vehicle types. The tanks are closing in for sure. I'm not sure if that'll be a good move or not. Because obviously APS are better at close range, but then again so are the packs. Both in damage and accuracy. But they're not doing too much against these guys right now. Missiles are pretty ambivalent. I really like the short and stubby design of these guys. Pretty slow turn rate, too. They're clearly just designed to be some cheap anti-vehicle rockets. Just like glorified rocket artillery. One tank has been packed into oblivion from amidst the group as his comrades drive on by. Looking over this way. The main battle tanks, looks like 2 are still functional and upright. This one is the one that flipped. Or actually, this may be a different one. I don't remember the one that flipped being at this position. But I think it is still combat capable. Seems to have a decent enough elevation on the main gun. Checking the map to look at our AIs, we can see the defenses have been pretty well encircled, and 1 defense turret has been killed. The other 2 are decent health. And as I said, I will scrap those that get too damaged. They'll do it on their own, of course, eventually, but the repairs keep them in for way too long. As I expected, the packs are doing a pretty good number by AI deading some tanks. But there are now less of them, for what that is worth. Zooming out to check in on the main walkers. Looks like they are still full health, or near enough as makes no difference. The city itself is looking pretty bad. If this thing weren't made of stone, that fire would be a lot more concerning. Oh, that's how this thing gets detection. That's a neat trick. Interesting. This tank here just totally survived a head-on particle hit. Although these 2 over here have been a lot less lucky. They got a EMP T90'd. Checking in again on Vidite Abisi. We can see decent damage still. The main structure is now down to 80%. But I think probably half of the attacking tanks have been taken down. Let me actually, repair this poor tank that I kind of did badly with my spawn. Do you think I can flip it? And this one also got collision damage, so I'll repair that. I really want collision damage to have as little as an effect as possible in battles like these. Because it's just really a silly thing that only happens in From the Depths because of, I guess, maybe code limitations. But it should happen a lot less if this were actually realistic. Yeah, I'll really only do mercy stuff for stupid stuff like, yeah, the AI running stuff into each other and stuff like that. And only sometimes when it seems to make sense. I won't always do that. If it's like clearly a their fault kind of thing, I'm less likely to do that, but in this case it was immediately after spawn, just because I kind of put them a little bit too close together maybe. We can see pretty well that just even tank caliber frag has pretty well eviscerated the city. Shows you just how vulnerable stone is when you have weapons properly counted that can actually hit. But the packs have done a huge number on the attackers, whose small tanks just couldn't deal with the hits. Looking at the map now, we can see that we're only down to like 5 tanks left. A damaged Groza out in that corner. They're hitting the border. 2 damaged Grozas, I think. Or a damaged Groza, Johnston, and then the 2 main battle tanks. 2 cases. Less 1 Groza, I believe. This one Johnson here is stubbornly continuing to fight, but alas has been AI killed. Just the 2 MBTs left now. Question will be if they can sufficiently damage the city. I mean, either way, it's 70% now. That'll mean it needs some serious repairs. Certainly if it's going to be engaged again in combat. But we'll see if they can manage to capture it outright. Probably not, just because I doubt they'll be able to kill the 2 forces of Iterperlutum 1, who would be able to immediately recapture the city were they to capture it themselves. But just damaging the city severely would be a win for sure. If they manage to fall into the void, yes, I could. I think they'll manage to back away, but I'm not certain. Let's go ahead and check these fellas out. Yeah, still above land. Ew. This one I will also repair because that was a hitting the land border issue. And I know for a fact it wasn't damaged at all before it got over there. I don't know why these things don't turn though. That part may be a skill issue. Wee. They will at least stop trying to do that, although I don't know. That man may just be called to a greater purpose beyond our understanding. Meanwhile, in the actual relevant part of the battle, the main battle tanks are still standing strong. One of them has taken some damage, but not much. Whereas the city is now down another 7%. So I think they'll manage to take out the city. Maybe the packs as well. I don't know if it's an accuracy issue or just not enough damage. These guys may actually have EMP protection. But it's probably going to be hard to tell just by a quick look about in here. They do have surges. I don't know if they've got a proper, like, EMP grid out of heavy armor to move it around the way you should. But they at least have surges, so they've taken that step. Just another 5% to go, and the Vititea BC has been damaged, or probably removed from the map at this point if it's if they destroy all the vehicles. Yeah, map could have been bigger, or I could have just spawned them further from the edge. I just like this area here, the Desolated Dunes, because it's got really nice flat terrain. And there's some rugged terrain on the sides to at least give us a bit more interesting scenery than totally flat stuff. Yeah, at this point they're probably dealing as much damage by disconnecting blocks as they are actually breaking blocks. This thing is decidedly Swiss cheese. And for those wondering, the AI and the critical components are in a box here at the bottom, where it's not likely to get hit by much, unless you have, like, doom crams that are aiming for it. So really this thing can only be killed by chunking it down 45%, which these guys are pretty adept at doing, having just reached that milestone. There's a chance that the tanks could go on a hero play all the way to take out the walkers, but I suspect if they get too close, the walkers will have enough accuracy to take the dub. Are you gonna be normal? Maybe? Is that at all possible? Could you consider that? Or do you just like this attitude? You just like to chill? Oh! One of the tanks has been AI killed just as they took out the city. Can you... Okay, I think I can turn these guys to walking again. Not you, though. You are still being silly. Tank is still going strong. Working its way through these packs, I assume. We'll see if the main gun fires, or if that might have been disabled. I know the AA gun is still firing there. But the main one may not be. Whoop. I guess we can go closer and check it out. Yeah, this looks pretty crippled. The turret's not turning anymore, at least not the main one. Aiming at nothing in particular. Meanwhile, I suspect that this autocannon won't be able to do much to those turrets. Oh yep, just hit AI dead. Alrighty, that's the conclusion of this battle. Vidite Abisi has been very heavily damaged, given that the civilian building was destroyed. Along with one defense, I'll consider the city probably about half damaged, but still present. If it gets respawned soon, it will come with just these two defenses, and they will be slightly damaged. But for now, that's this battle. Thank you all for watching. Have a good one.